some would say we're living, we're thriving.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you say that we're doing right now?
Oh, I would probably say that we are live.
Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I know it says every week, but this topic, well, topics as plural, um, has been all anyone is talking about right now.
Who? What? Yep. I would agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one thing gets me because it's like with this kind of industry and like the wow, the music industry, the clothing industry, the just everything about this industry in general, especially like in LA. There's this big controversy over pedophilia, right? And then you start seeing the mental declines of these people in these industries, especially the music industry, which is
Mm-hmm.
our good man Kanye West.
Oh, yay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
I can't believe it, and I know I'm sure you saw all the stuff with Balenciaga, kind of
Mm-hmm.
going into all this, and I really look at it and I'm like, this is wild. I never thought that like people could just be so blatantly just out there with everything.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, you got to think. You got to remember these are the people that they're connected to the big the big like fish out there. The evil heads of the world. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, the signs were all there. Now they're trying to backtrack and being like, "Whoa, guys,
Yep,
it's not what was going on."
the new age and pedophilia.
Apparently, I was thinking about like imagine like back in a couple of years ago, like 10, 15 years ago, the pedophiles were like those weird dudes with like bowl cuts in the room and they're like, hey kids. And now it's like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like a celebrity. Now it's like your favorite artist. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's so sad because, especially with that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, I think it really shined
Still
light
haven't
onto
been prosecuted, by the way.
yes, yeah, that's true. That is very true. I mean, well, he did, kill himself.
Not him. I'm talking about the people that were on his little black book, like his on like
Oh,
confirmed to go
yes.
into his island. They're ever been
You
prosecuted.
know what was interesting too is I loved how that Kyle Rittenhouse case just got kind of thrown in there,
Uh-huh.
and yeah,
It's all set up that way. It's all a part of the plan. It's the same way that I'm pretty sure Balenciaga is taking the fall for something else that's probably going on. Like
oh, so you think that they're like a front for all the stuff that
I
just
think they're a
happened?
front. I mean, right now, what do you have going on in the world? You got China protesting its government,
Yeah,
which in and of itself to us is like, oh, okay, there's a protest, sure. But what you forget is that China is not a democracy. And at any point, the government could just show up and just start mowing them down like they do in Haiti and in, I think it's, I don't know, I'm not gonna say anywhere else, but I know definitely it's in Haiti. They just roll up and just get mowed down. So they're really brave for sticking it out there and the cold streets, just protesting their government. But that's not being reported right now, so who knows?
so you think the whole Balenciaga thing is like to cover up the whole China aspect now?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be
I see it.
surprised if it was, to be honest.
That's interesting. Yeah, dude, I was rather disgusted when I saw these photos because at first I saw like a TikTok about it. Goes, they were stitching a video, and of course, like you only plays like the 1 second of the video,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like, "I can't believe this is happening! Like, you guys gotta wake up, like all this kind of stuff." And I'm like, "What the fuck is Balenciaga doing
Yep.
with pedophilia?" And then I saw the photos.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah. It
no,
was just wild when you really think about it. Like all these celebrities rocking Balenciaga. I know people that rock Balenciaga, and it's like the whole thing. Now this is coming out. I don't know. They have pictures of children in bondage gear, and the fact that there's like a paper trail basically for all their like photo shoots, their marketing campaigns going on and on and on. And I mean, and then but the other thing too is like you got all these celebrities burning their Balenciaga and like all that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. it's just weird how like I don't believe that anybody, they don't even have to be a good person, but I don't truly believe that any celebrity that wants to stay in the limelight or stay relevant is going to pretty much just like throw their career down the drain like Kim Kardashian is doing by like not fully like going against, Balenciaga, where she's kind of trying to play the middleman, like, well,
Yep. Yeah,
you
I
don't
saw
know all the
that.
facts. It's like, bro, it's either there's stories being fabricated to take her eye off the ball for something else, or she's just like the biggest piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
there's like you have kids, and you're telling me that there's a company that you work with that has ties to pedophilia, or like there are a pedophilic company, and you're telling me you're just gonna be like, well, we don't know all the facts yet. Come on, bro. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull up her her tweet. Um, but yeah, no, and what's what bothers me is with all this stuff, you would think that at least some human decency would kind of come from all this, considering Disney of all places is about children promoting all these kids shows, and is probably one of the biggest ones out there.
Uh-huh.
And now, like you would hope some of these people from that kind of network, or some of these big celebrities who have a decent heart, who like just really want to do the right thing
Yep.
and try to like fix this. Because one of the interesting things that I found was, and this is from the New York Post. Sorry, I don't know why I'm like clearing my throat. Another campaign featured photos that included the paperwork, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
about the child pornography laws that were in those documents.
Yep.
So like those like that whole campaign trail paper thing, they found like child pornography laws in there.
Yep.
And that just adds to the aspect of, what are you guys doing? Why, if if you genuinely thought that that wasn't some kind of pedophilic act, some kind of like disgusting act with children, then why even include that?
Well, that's the whole stir up right now.
Dude, I just it's bad. It's really bad, and it's rather embarrassing because it's like, not that I have any Balenciaga, but you know, you always think, oh, they're this really cool brand, they're super popular, they have nice clothing, nice shoes, all this kind of stuff. And then they do things like this, and it really kind of makes
Yeah.
you question, like, that whole industry already has a stigma to them,
Yeah.
and now we're just adding to it.
Well, I mean, it's glad that, I mean, if they are in fact pedophiles, which I mean they are, but like, because pretty much most of Hollywood is. So, but if it comes out that they are, like officially, then I mean, like, what? Why are we? Here. This is my thing. Here's what I want to know. Why is it that okay, for example, let's say you and me were hanging out all day every day, right? And um and then it comes to the point where it's like all of a sudden it gets outed that you're a pedophile or I'm a pedophile, right? And then I go to prison, or I'm nobody, like nothing happens to me. It just comes out, I'm like, oh, oops. And then people are gonna look at you and be like, oh my god, this guy's friends with a pedophile. Fuck this guy. Why are we not doing that with celebrities? Why are we saying like, oh my god, these celebrities were all friends, like really close with Jeffrey Epstein, and all these celebrities are really close to this and Dan Schneider, and the list goes on. And then it's like, oh my god, Jeffrey Epstein was a terrible human being. Oh my god, I love this movie star or this artist or this thing. And I'm just like, dude, it just doesn't correlate. Like, you can't say you hate what one person does.
Especially that Dan Schneider thing.
Yeah, he was putting kids up there with like their feet all the time and stuff. Like he's a foot fetish kind of a guy. He made all the child actors like super uncomfortable. And my whole thing is just like, I don't understand how like what is it going to take for people to just realize that Hollywood is not their friend?
No, not even like a little bit.
Like the like how the people that like are like I've been there like where like you're like super into a movie star and you're like, what are they going to be in next? You know, this, that, and a third, and you're excited for when they come out and they're like, oh my god, they're going to be in the next Avengers movie or whatever, right? But now we're talking about some serious shit, right? We got celebrities that are like the whole Pizzagate thing from a couple years ago that got swept
Oh
under the
yeah.
rug, right? With Obama and the politicians and stuff.
Yep.
With when Ellen, what was it, like the Grammys or something? Ellen was in the walking around. She was like the host of it. She was like, "Who wants pizza? You want your pizza? Do you want cheese? Oh, I know you, Ronnie. You like extra pepperoni, right?" And like she walk around with pizzas, and it's all symbolism. You know what I mean? Like, what in the midst like of this Pizzagate scandal going on, and like people being like, "Oh my god, you know, is this what they're doing?" They choose that segment to do. You know what I'm saying? Like why that segment?
It's because and that's the one
But
thing that people have been saying. Yeah, sorry.
I digress.
Your line. That's what I'm gonna start just putting out there. Gavin, I digress. But no, that's the whole thing. And people were saying this about like this Balenciaga situation. They're gonna keep doing this shit. But the problem is they're just gonna stay quiet.
Uh-huh.
They're not gonna really put anything out about it. They're not gonna change their brand. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna fire. They're just gonna stay quiet about it, and they're hoping that eventually it'll blow over
Uh-huh.
because that's what usually happens. Same thing with the Pizzagate. They throw it under the rug and then they just don't talk about it, and eventually it just things just are happening with like right now it's like the whole student loans thing and like there's a bunch and then you have the whole Kanye controversy and
Mm-hmm.
all this kind of stuff is just wow, it's just adding up. So then people are going to slowly forget about the Balenciaga situation and all these kids, all these exploitation, all these problems aren't going to stop. They just stopped for right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just gonna. They're not. Even, I don't even think they're gonna stop. I think it's just gonna be like you get caught and they're just like, oh no. Like okay, for example, right? It's the same way. Like everyone always says that they don't like the banking system, right? The fractional banking system is a scam, right?
Yeah.
Bank of America got charged, you know, for opening up
Yes.
accounts, lying
Yep.
on applications, opening up credit card applications, and you know, for clients, fudging numbers, taking more money than they could have, like than they could pay back, the whole thing. And guess what? They got a little slap on the wrist and they got bailed out. And now it's the same thing. The train is just continuing. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like with Balenciaga, this is a multi-billion-dollar. Well, I would assume a billion-dollar company, right? Maybe a
Yeah.
multi-million,
Yeah. I
whatever.
would say so.
Um, and you know, you have celebrities endorsing them, you know, and this, that, and the third. Like, and now you got this coming out, and and they haven't done like a full marketing campaign against this. Like, if somebody were to call me a pedophile, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would go to the ends of the earth to prove myself, like that I'm not.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't freak
But
out
you're
and get
not.
defensive because I'm not, but I'm saying like I'd be like, look, this is the facts. This is what's going on. This is what you're telling me I am, and I'm not. You know, with them, they're just kind of like, huh. Anyway, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like super arrogance where they're just like, you know, maybe, you know, maybe it'll just blow over and we'll be fine, or if it's just more like, you know, maybe it's part of their marketing strategy. Maybe they wanted to be called pedophiles to be talked about more. You know, like who knows?
Why would you want to be? See, that is like, because I've heard that too. They're just trying to be blasphemous about their marketing campaign. Why, of all things, would you choose to be blasphemous about
I don't know.
it?
I mean, all publicity is good publicity, right?
Not that publicity. Stop diddling our kids.
Diddly
I
do.
just,
Sorry.
I just, it blows my mind that these conversations are continuously showing up.
Uh huh.
That is, I think, what blows my mind is you would think after a certain period of time, especially after the whole Epstein thing, right? So many politicians, so many people in the industries, like music industry, where I'm saying, and like, you know, film and all this kind of stuff, fashion, you guys got caught.
Yep.
You got caught red-handed, embarrassingly,
Yep.
and you got sold out. But the problem is they have money, they have influence, and no one's been charged.
Well, nobody's going to be charged, I bet you.
No, no, no. If that would have happened, see, that's the whole thing. Is and you and I talked about this before. The Kyle Rittenhouse case was madly prolific, and we saw every time that kid, that prosecutor, that defense attorney, we knew when they shit, when they breathed, when they ate, when they came. But all we get is drawings from Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
reporters weren't allowed inside.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
It's things like that, man. I know there was a sensitive thing, but I genuinely think that if that should have been a big wake up call. I don't care what side, left, right, front, center. That should have been a wake up call to every single person that they don't care about your kids. They don't care about you.
Well, that's the thing is they care about your kids a little too much.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know, dude. The whole thing is fucked up. But
well, pedophilia in itself is terrible. But it's just funny how like these people people are becoming more aware that like companies and studios and record labels and all, they're not your friend.
No.
They are not to be trusted. Like you know, you can't trust anybody that's famous. I'm sorry, you just can't. Because I personally, I know it's still considered a conspiracy theory about the whole like Illuminati and like Freemason thing and this, that, and the third. But my whole thing is this. There's no way that you have that amount of ego and like power, like societal power, in one like what would be called like we're working all around the same thing, like for Hollywood, and they're not being like harnessed in, like they're not being like controlled by something. You know what I mean? And because like you think about it, you hear it all the time, right? You'll watch like SNL or something, or you'll watch Jimmy Fallon, and at some point they'll always make a joke, and then they'll look to the producer and be like, "Right, Mark?" And then they cut to the producer, and the producer's like, and it's made to be a big joke. But when you realize is people are being spoon-fed information so that they're tunnel visioned on it, right? For example, did you know that like over 80% up until I think it was like till 2011 or something, up until 80% of the people didn't realize that the late night TV shows were filmed in the daytime?
What?
Oh no, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's wild, dude. Those
buddy
80% people really learn.
Wow.
So go ahead, continue your
yeah. I'm just gonna, so basically just to make sure we both know, because I know you know, but
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. So what happens is that day they'll get there like noon or 1 o'clock or whatever, and then they'll film the show, but as nighttime, and then they have time to edit the show and like make sure nothing crazy happens, yeah.
No, yeah, no, I'm actually there for the editing process.
Oh.
That's how I learned how to edit for the podcast, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Get this man some water.
Dude, yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm like fine that I talk, and then like my throat pause.
Do you have a frog in your throat? What was I saying?
I do.
What was I saying earlier? I forget. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just think that the celebrities are being like harnessed in and being told what to promote and what to wear and what to do and who to talk to and who to party with. And you see it all the time from people coming out like on these podcast episodes and stuff. They're talking about, I was up and coming. I was going to be famous, and then we went to a P. Diddy Halloween party or like a house party at this in the hills in L.A. or we did this, and you got rooms upon rooms upon rooms of people just becoming famous. You know what I mean? Like where it's like you got dudes on dudes and and whatever else is going on. You got the whole sacrificing thing with the government, like the government be sacrificing people, whether it be like at oh no, what's it called? Um, what Alex Jones went to.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. Thank you. Bohemian Grove, or you got the Hillary Clinton killing children thing, and I just personally think that like if you're famous, like I want to become famous not just for the fame, but literally just to know like what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine if how stupid you'd feel? Like, imagine we got famous and everything was how they say it is. Like, it was just normal. Like, there's no like hidden conspiracies. There's no hidden government. No hidden hierarchy. It's literally just movie stars and like artists.
I just want to know all the secrets.
That would be tough. Okay. Would you rather live forever, but only be able to gather knowledge about this kind of thing the same way that you do now? Or die in 5 years? Or die like, in the next 5 years, but know everything?
Die in the next 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because here's my reasoning, right? Let's say I live to like 1 million, right?
Uh-huh.
I might never learn all this stuff.
Right.
Society would have to break down.
But what would you do in those 5 years to make sure you're not? Because you have all that. You know everything. Think about that. You know everything. What do you do with that?
So I would start.
You'd probably go
a
crazy.
Small LLC. Then once I have the LLC, I'm going to build my brand and work on good customer service. Once the good customer service is there, I'm going to get all these celebrities to come in.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have a massive following, and I'm going to run for president.
Okay.
And then when I win the presidency at the ripe age of 36,
yeah,
I'm then going to start a war with Russia, but they're not going to know.
Okay.
So I'm just going to nuke them.
Yep.
And China.
Okay.
But I'm going to make sure they can't nuke me back, because I'm going to build an invisible wall. Because at that time, there's going to be this technology. So then once that's done.
It doesn't even matter if there's a technology. You can just make it because you know how.
Exactly. So, boom, I win. Now I rule the world.
Right. So.
But I have 5 years left, so I'm not corrupted.
So you want world domination.
How do I always end up at world domination?
So basically, you get some like superpowers, like some superhuman powers, and all of a sudden you become Hitler. Speaking of Hitler, ladies and gentlemen,
what a segue! Oh my god! What a segue!
Yeah. Speaking of that whole scenario, though, the whole Kanye West thing with Alex Jones. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that might be the first time I've ever seen Alex Jones get Alex Jonesed.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. Isn't it? It's so funny because we've all been watching this decline of Kanye West, right? Now, what's funny about it, and if there really is anything funny about it, is you have this big influencer who everyone goes, "That's my boy." It had the fellas in Paris, and then all this stuff, and he is just on this road to ruin his legacy.
Well, is it a road to ruin his legacy, or is he being outed as the psycho? Okay, now here wait, okay, now hold on. No,
I'm listening.
Let's take a breath. Collectively, all of us together, let's take a nice deep breath. And let's look at the facts. Okay, so Kanye West has always been for the fame, always been for the flash in the pan, for the sizzle. That's what he did with Taylor Swift. That's what he did his whole, the whole time, his whole career, basically. What's interesting to me is, and I'm not saying any of this is fact, but I'm just saying what I find interesting is how you have a superstar, a celebrity, who they pumped full of drugs, self-admitted, his entire career, pumped him with drugs and fame and women and all that stuff, right? He ends up getting with Kim Kardashian. They start having kids, and you start to see this like metamorphosis where he's starting to, put on weight and grow his beard out and start to actually saying things in interviews, and you know, you know what I mean, like, and it's just going bigger, and then all of a sudden starts getting really into Jesus, right? Not God, because that's the other thing, is he's getting really into Jesus, and what he say, motherfuckers sign contracts where they can't say Jesus in their songs. You can say Jesus in Ye Studio, like, he was promoting Jesus and he was promoting worship, and yeah, it was cult like and weird, but it was still promoting Jesus, right? And whatever percentage of the population of the country would agree with, because they're Christians, right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, immediately he goes after the Jews, and now everyone's like, oh my God, he's the worst person ever. And now he's talking about oh, he loves Hitler. Bro, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what's going on, right? Like, I don't know what's going on, but we've seen in how many movies, how many TV shows, the government and the Hollywood and whatever, they will make you believe whatever they want you to believe.
Sure.
Like we saw on House of Cards. Nationwide manhunt for this kid, this school shooter. And they're on the news and they're looking in, they're like, we think we might have found him. The cops are everywhere, SWAT team, this, that, and the third. And the president already has him in a secret bunker, and he's interviewing him, like torturing him, interrogating him, not interviewing him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that, like, they're spoon feeding us these little crumbs, like, bet you didn't think about that, this, bet you didn't think about this. So all I'm saying is, what I find interesting is how you have a celebrity that changes off of the course, the beat path that they had him set for, starts worshiping Jesus, not God, but Jesus, and that's important. Now all of a sudden, look where he is. Not saying it wasn't him. I'm just saying it's also interesting how he goes out and says these not blasphemous, but like, anti-Semitic things while wearing a full black face mask. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it wasn't him. I'm just saying if it came out that it wasn't him, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard because I used to look up at Kanye as like this icon, this massive influencer, and what doesn't feel right about the whole situation is like you see someone who's just on a actual decline, and I can't see anybody who likes the flash in the pan, who likes to do all this kind of stuff to just ruin their legacy.
Yeah.
Like that's what doesn't make sense to me about this whole thing, and it I don't know, man. Something about it doesn't smell right, but the fact that he went on and said, we got to stop dissing the Nazis. You've got a little bit of a Hitler fetish going on. Alex Jones said that. And I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Yeah.
Who the fuck says that? Who just goes, that's what I'm saying today?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would he say that? Like, what is the, what I'm saying? Like, what doesn't make sense is how these people are like, he would do that. And then people are like, well, it's sad to see him go crazy, but there he goes. It's like, does this timeline not, raise any eyebrows for anybody else? Am I just sitting here, there's like a lonely weirdo just making shit up? I'm just like, well, I don't know. It's just, to me, it just doesn't smell right. Like you said, but we've seen him, like, Jared Leto has like a cult following in like the hills of California or whatever, and nobody really cares about that. But Kanye West does it, and Kanye is nuts. Kanye West talks about real, actual stuff. Whether he be eccentric about it or not. He talks about real stuff, and he gets labeled as crazy, or becomes a meme, or whatever the case. And now you got a guy who, because of that, is divorced. It lost the divorce hearings. Like, he lost his house. He lost a boatload of money. You know what I'm saying? And now he's being publicly shamed and outed as this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
I just think whenever everybody tells me to point the finger at somebody, it makes me like really hone in on them. Like, you know, like whenever there's a mob mentality going on about something and they're like, oh my God, Kanye West is nuts and he's, we hate Kanye and yada yada. It's like, yeah, but why? Like, why are we being like funneled to hating him? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Because you see it everywhere. It's on TikTok, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on the news, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Why are we being funneled to hate this guy? You know what I'm saying? Why is it now all of a sudden, the same time this Balenciaga shit's going on too? Why is this all of a sudden happening where he's just going nuts? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, man. And I don't trust the government. I don't trust Hollywood. I don't trust nobody like that.
Dude, you shouldn't trust those people. That all that stuff is bad. It's very bad.
But what I was saying earlier about the whole God worshiping Jesus, not God thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank God, right? I love God. Your God and my God might not be the same. So, if I'm saying, if you see it all the time, if you're religious, right, you know that, or you believe that Satan runs the earth, right? He's a ruler over his dominion over the earth, right?
Okay.
He, therefore, would be labeled as God.
Okay.
So if you have people saying, I worship God, but they're not allowed to say, I worship Jesus, right? And Jehovah, Yeshua, right?
Interesting.
You're only allowed to say God. Your God and my God are not the same.
I never thought of it like that at all.
Right?
Someone's gonna fucking get this guy. This is becoming too much, man.
Sorry.
No. It's good you brought that up. I just this whole thing I've never seen someone decline so fast in the media like this, aside from like touching kids. And the thing is like it's so prolific and it's so self-destructive. Like you can control what you say, and like something happens, like you say something sideways or whatever it is, like or they take it the wrong way. But no, dude, he actually said, "I don't like that they have evil next to the Nazis." Like,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis. I don't know. It's nuts. It's a nuts place to be.
oh, we didn't even read this thing that you put in this thing. It's the Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the fact if that Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Mm-hmm.
The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Yeah. Well, so I'm a proponent of doing independent research, right? I'm a proponent of like actually doing your own studying, right? Because how many times did they teach you something in school, or like you see something that's like fact on the news, right?
Sure.
And yet it comes out that it's not so much of a fact, right? They say things like it's a fact, yet it's not. Like, for example, evolution. They speak about evolution like it's a fact, right? They're like, yeah, this happened. Yeah. They don't know that happened, because now more evidence is coming out that, maybe we didn't. The evolutionary cycle isn't the way that we thought it was, right? Like, how do you go from a fish or like to a walking fish to a mammal? How does that transition happen?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I don't know, but there's a bunch of scientists that are like coming out like, oh, maybe that we just evolved from a different species of monkey and whatever. Because it's like to the question, if we came from monkeys, why are there monkeys? Oh, well, we're a different strain. We're a different, we were a different being, and then we evolved, and I don't know, but
Oh
um,
God, dude, it's so bad.
but
It, and you know what it is? I don't think we're ever gonna find out the answer anytime soon.
no. Well, that's the thing. Everything's what. Just look at if you want to just read 1984, because Orwell had it right. Because it's ridiculous how much the media redacts things they don't want you to know, right? And like, if you're somebody that just believes in the government that they're true and what they say is true, and in the media that they would never lie to you, and that news isn't biased, then you are an idiot. I am sorry that you had to find out this way.
Get fucked.
But yeah, pretty much. Like you just, So I think this is the most important now more than ever. We have to stay vigilant. We have to be in knowing what's happening in the world, right? Knowing what's going on, not just in the world of celebrity, right? But in the world, right? Like I said, we have China protesting its government, right? That's bigger than what is it? The Tiananmen Square or whatever it's called, where the dude stood up against the tanks.
Oh yes. This
is bigger than that, because this is not just one man, but this is thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that Kanye,
crazy world we live in.
Yeah, man. I just don't see it. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why now of all times he has to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I've been saying this for the past like 2-3 years, and I know like it was like a famous thing on TikTok too. It's like I am sick and tired of living through major historical events.
Exactly.
I am like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Can we just
Sorry.
Can we just go back to 2014?
Prime time.
2012, man.
Bring me back, fine, baby.
Just wake up, birds are chirping, the sun's out. It's nice, cool, calming breeze outside, but it's like 70 degrees. Go and hang out with your friends and watch YouTube videos and watch funny clips on Vine and have a good time. Now we're all adults and we're coming to realize, oh yeah. And then that's the other thing too, is it's like, when you're, you know what it is? What I believe it's when you're a kid, right? When you're a little kid, you think the teachers are they're there for you. They're going to look out for you.
Sure, yeah.
You get a little bit older, and then you're like, you know what? I don't care what these teachers think. Screw you guys. You get a little bit older, and you're like, you want to be kind of friends with the teachers. You're like, oh, okay. Volatile enemies. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand me, blah, 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 blah. But it's only when you graduate or when you can take a step back that you realize, oh my God, I was an idiot. I was, an idiot for this. I didn't do my homework.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think it's the same way with politics and with celebrities. And like when you're little, oh my God, I love movies. Oh, when you're coming up through school, oh my God, this is my favorite artist. I love this music. I love this movie. I love this actor, whatever. Get a little bit older and you're like, okay, all right. Well, how old is this actor? How tall is this actor? When did this dude start singing? When did this, you want more information. And then you should come to a point where you hit that thing where you go, okay, so we know that this guy and this guy are friends with this guy, but that guy's a pedophile. What are these other two guys, what are these guys doing about it? Nothing? Okay, and then you do more research. If your entire family's Republican or Democrat, sit down and be like, you know what? I'm going to look it up for myself. I'm going to see what I want to be, because to just sit on TikTok and drink your Starbucks and hit your little vape and watch TikToks and do whatever you want to do all day and go work as a waitress or a waiter or a movie attendant or whatever it is that you do, and just think, you know what, everything's going to work out in the end. You know, like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dude, I'm scared to see what this place is gonna look like in 10 years.
Oof. It's gonna be like the Chuck E. Cheese's or the Quiznos of the world. Out of business.
Never had them, but
Yeah, you weren't missing much.
yeah. All right, man. Well, are you want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, man. All
right, dude.
We can wrap it all up.
Oh no, you're yawning. You're gonna make me yawn.
Yawn.
No. I fought it back.
Nice.
But all right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this. This was a topic that we
had to touch on it.
Yeah, I still can't believe it's all happening. But as we say every week, make sure you guys liking and subscribing, checking us out every week, Thursday, 5 p.m.